Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here now, Scala with Pop XP, and we have another exciting episode of Pop XP Presents Crowdfunding Comics. And I am joined by the most amazing, amazing, Mr. Frank Amazing.
Hey, Nile, how you doing, Brian?
How'd you get that name?
Billy Tucci.
That's
Billy
right.
Tucci gave me Frank Amazing.
You know what's actually funny about that story? Because I do know how you got that name.
Right.
He calls me up, ready? I'm there. I'm driving. Phone goes up. Hey, what's up? What's up, Tucci? That's how we do it. Tucci, Scala, what's going on? Not much, man. Dude, mind blown. You know, Frank's amazing, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, he is. You know, but we can't call him Amazing Frank. We're going to call him Frank Amazing. You like that? I'm like, yeah, sure, man. It took a while to set in, but it works now.
It works.
It works. The man did something right.
Yep.
You know, and you know what else works? Amazing indie creators. And we have another amazing indie creator tonight. And without further ado, everyone, let's welcome Mr. Robert Hickey to the show. Robert, how are you tonight?
Hey, doing well. How you doing, Nell? How you doing, Frank?
Good.
We're doing awesome, man. We're glad to have you on. We're glad to talk about your book. And, you know, I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, how did you get into the crazy world of comics?
Sort of the back door. My brother and I created a company called Blue Line Pro. We print the art paper that a lot of the artists drew on.
Oh,
this
cool.
was back in '89. And so we traveled to a lot of shows. We took the paper around, and then we started adding art supplies. And that's how I met like guys like Billy Tucci and Brian Polito and Bo Smith. All these guys was traveling around selling the art supplies. So we created a paper for ourselves. We wanted to draw, and had gotten a page of George Perez original artwork that had the borders on it. I was like, oh, man, we can print those borders. Marvel doesn't own those borders. So we printed our own paper, and more artists started asking for it. We started going around to the shows in the early 90s, did more and more. And after a little while, we got enough notoriety and talking and everything, and we started publishing our first comic in '93 with Blood and Roses. And of course, you know, being Blue Line, we were distributed through Diamond and everything. And so, of course, we wanted to come out with our book through Diamond. Well, indie publishing was sort of slowing down then. So we did a few issues here and there. But over the past, since '93, we published 22 comics in the SkyStorm Universe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But over time, we also published a Sketch Magazine, which was a how-to magazine for comic book artists.
I know about that magazine. Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, we featured a lot of artists from Malik Corrales to I interviewed Todd McFarlane to Mark Silvestri to Frank Cho. We interviewed to 46 issues, I think, total we did.
I think did you have Billy and Tucci on one of those?
Yeah, I had Billy.
You did, right?
Early, yeah. I met Billy through Bo. I know Bo Smith. Really
yeah.
Well. Okay. And yeah, he helped us hook up with a lot of guys like Neil Gaiman and a bunch of them on the issue. So, you know, we've been in and out of the industry for a long time. But unfortunately, everybody's gone digital.
Yeah.
So my quote unquote cash cow of printing comic book art paper doesn't exist anymore. It's more of a hobby paper. You know, we sell to a couple dozen art stores and stuff like that through New York and on the West Coast. And we have a few regulars. I mean, we used to print paper for Image, Valiant, Aspen, you know, just all those guys. And we really don't do that anymore. We do a little bit of custom work. So
because they've all gone digital now?
They've all gone digital.
Wow.
Now. Yeah.
You know, I do draw it digitally. It's cool. You know, it's definitely cool to, like, you know, clip a section, adjust it, you know, copy things, you know, draw one eye, duplicate it, flip it, and all that stuff's great. But there is nothing better than paper.
Well, my big turn was a friend of mine teaches down at Ringling down in Florida, and they teach art comics. Well, they only make them draw on paper the first semester. Everything else can be done digitally. And I'm thinking, if you guys are putting out all these new creators, all new artists who does nothing but digital, I need to go find a new day job because this isn't going to last forever. So, well, now, go ahead.
I was going to say, you can't sell, you know, original digital. You know what I mean? Like you that's another aspect of the business is you need to sell, you know, sell some of your original art or whatever.
Yeah, original art will eventually disappear. I mean, it's going to get minimal. I can remember back in the day when there was art dealers on every corner in the shows. You know, you go to Chicago, you go to San Diego, there's art dealers every corner selling everybody's artwork, and that's gone down and down and down. Yeah, original art's going to be hard to find. Now it's all commissions. People are doing commissions, and they don't need borders for commissions. They just buy Strathmore pads and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Now, do you get into printing of comic books themselves?
We did for a little while, but we sort of pulled back because more than anything, it's just getting our equipment to last longer. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll show you guys. We printed this copy. There we go. This is just to see what the cover would look like in-house. But knowing this company is slowing down with Blue Line, I wanted to keep that, you know, it's like a $30,000 copier lasting as long as it can, because I just don't know how long Blue Line's going to be around. So we sort of backed down. We will print our own in-house. It's more than capable. We have binding capabilities. With Blue Line, I have shipping capabilities. We ship out. So handling all that kind of stuff is still is very viable for us.
Well, what about like, you know, for indie creators that are watching right now that are like, no, I don't do digital. I don't want to do digital. And I want my custom pages and things like that. Can they reach out to you in Blue Line?
BlueLinePro.com, same website we've had for nearly 30 years. Yeah.
And if you want to find that out, we'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
This episode.
BlueLinePro.com is where you can reach the store, the digital store, and they'll answer the phone and take any orders and talk to you, reply to an email. I think it's info@BlueLinePro.com. They can reach out. Okay. My brother still runs the office there. The funny thing is about Blue Line is one thing that keeps it going is my 76-year-old mother. She says she comes in every morning at 8 o'clock. She stays to 1. And she works on nothing but Blue Line. She's packaged almost every page over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She counts it all out, gets it ready. She makes the shipment. She ships them out. So as long as she's up for it, Blue Line's going to be around.
So how does that work really quick? Do they send you the images and the things they want on their custom, or do you work with them to create
I mean, we have so many different borders and stuff. Usually we can kick you a different border. We work with like Michael Turner. He wanted a very simple border. He just wanted corners with a few hashes. So we have ruled borders. We have all kinds of different types of borders that we can take it, drop your logo up in the corner of it, and, you know, give you something special for yourself. But yeah, or they can just send us a PDF, 300 DPI PDF, and we'll print them up, borders.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's good
and
to
we
know.
can put it on any paper. We can put it on all the Strathmores, you know, and that's what we really suggest is put it on Strathmore boards because it's going to be more durable.
Yeah. Incredible. So you're printing the pages, the artists are writing on them. It's the early 90s. You got the boom of the independent creators that are giving the mainstream comic industry a run for their money. We're like, what the heck? Who the heck are these guys, you know, stealing, you know, our fans from our lines at conventions? I mean, how was it, you know, being an indie creator yourself?
It was great. It was a great time to be out there. I mean, you had like the Bryans out there and Billy's out there, so it was a great time. And, you know, I got stories about them all because we ran into them all because we sold them all paper, you know, so I got to know most of them anyway. But it was a good time, you know, like now, you know, shows goes up and down. I mean, we probably got more shows, not this year, but last year, we probably had more shows we ever had, you know, people falling over dates and stuff. So, I mean, it was a good time. People were there for comics, which was cool in the early 90s. They wasn't there for autographs and stuff like that. So, but, it was a neat time. You know, like I said, we got into publishing. We put out a few issues throughout the 27 years. Yeah. Man, that's a long time. So, and then, you know, we sort of got distracted. We'd go do Sketch Magazine because we figured we talked to so many indie creators who were saying, man, I want more information. I want to hear from the Bill TUCCI'S and the Todd McFarlane. So we're like, we can make that happen. So we created a Sketch Magazine, you know, so we did interviews and we run how-tos in it. And we did that for a good period of time, 46 issues.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Sketch Magazine, because it's funny you mentioned that, I actually do go on eBay looking for certain issues and things like that. Just out of curiosity, is that something you guys still have the rights to? Could you possibly do like a Kickstarter for like, here's the Sketch Magazine omnibus, here's everything?
The funny thing is, I was on eBay the other day and I saw the Adam Hughes issues going for like $20 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got 20 boxes of those over here in the warehouse. I talked to my eBay guy that runs, I own a retro video game store now too. And so they run eBay for me. I'm like, I need to talk to him about putting some of these issues on eBay. Yeah. But I mean, I think you can go to bluelinepro.com and buy that same issue for like $6.99. So
the back issues are still available.
Yeah, almost for everything, and they do print on demand for what's sold out. Yeah,
Wow.
and we do. We have people come in, they'll buy 10 copies, they'll pick out their favorite artist, or they'll do runs. They'll come in, buy these 10, they'll come back a few months later and buy these 10, try to complete the run and get all the articles and stuff. Because, it was sort of all over. You got how to letter, how to do basic coloring, how to lay out. What are you thinking about putting together a cover or a logo? So there's a little bit of everything in the magazine. So, we had a lot of fun. We learned a lot, too, by talking to the creators about all those different things.
So what made you stop the publication?
A few personal reasons, but usually just the economy. I mean, publishing magazines is not a thing right now. So what we did, this is stepping in the next thing. We currently have a website called shoutfyre.com. And it's Fyre, Fyre. Shoutfyre.com. And we sort of took what we were doing with Sketch Magazine and moved it all over to there. Every week we publish 4 or 5 how-to articles, short Q&As. We want to expand it. Right now we've been dabbling in it with doing everything else that we're doing. We got some great creators who's starting to post on a regular basis over there. You can also, for a small membership of like $4.99, have access to all 46 issues of Sketch Magazine. So, we sort of like over the past 6 or 8 months, we've been gradually moving towards something online that's more practical for creators to get to.
Oh, that's cool. So you have the whole digital library available for them at that cost. Is that I'm sorry, you said that was a subscription, like a monthly subscription?
Like a monthly subscription for $4.99. Actually, it's free until the end of August.
Oh, wow.
When the COVID started, we just threw 6 months out there and said, hey, just come out and learn something. We're all bored. We're all sitting at home.
Yeah.
So we just threw 6 months out there and says, come and check us out.
So you're getting to talk to all these amazing creators. You guys are you're branching out into all these amazing categories of this industry. Is there one thing that you've learned that's just something that stays in the heart of you?
Good or bad?
Good. Let's talk good. Let's talk good.
It's not bad. It's when Marvel starts their own distributorship, don't go along with them because it's a hard ride to get back from. They take a lot of product and didn't pay. What did I learn? A lot. Creatively, my juice, I love comics. I'll be honest. I love reading them, creating them, sharing them. And for some reason, a handful of us just love making comics and sharing how to make comics. It's like talking to Bill and Trey, different things. Or talking to Bo about writing and stuff like that, and we do. So we love that concept. So I don't know if there's any one thing, there's certain things, like I said, I've done San Diego to New York over the years, over a 30-year span, and learned so much. I guess what I'm most pumped currently is the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It's where we're heading. Where we're heading with the series is that I did 22 issues, and I was going to create this big universe. We had Blood and Roses, we had Tempered Steel, we had Darkness Chronicles, we had Savage Family. That's not real. And that's sort of what I take from things. Like, you can't do 6 or 7 series and run artists and inkers and colorists and everything. Yeah. So what we decided to do is focus everything down to one. If you want to say, I hate to use the term a crisis series, but it's sort of what we've done. We've created Paradox Wars Shattered Time and just sort of we're going to be introducing all the characters into this ongoing storyline. And because our books were always based about time travel, it's easy to start pulling characters from different times and different time period to get them to interact within the story.
Well, excellent. Well, on that note, let's check out your latest Kickstarter. So you currently have Paradox Wars Shattered Time #1 is out. You are funded. Yes. You currently have 46 backers and 11 days to go. Most of the artwork is by Mitch Bird. Yep. He's the artist who penciled that issue. I was lucky that Mitch had also done a lot of covers for us. So I was able to pull images from different covers along with the story to do the intro part of it, like the history, and then move into what we currently have done. I know, Neil, you don't like a lot of rewards, but we've been around.
a while, and I've met so many great people over the years that they've done some covers and stuff for us in this. So we did reach out and do a few covers at, like, you know, comic shops. Still, they get the foil covers. You know how comic shops are, the 1 in 100, all that. So we decided to do like the 50, the limited edition stuff. You notice my first stretch reward was at $1 over. I just wanted to give something away. I was so pumped. It's like, look, let's just get there, and I just want to give away something. So that's a mini print that art team, Joel and Chris, will actually be doing the second chapter of this story. So this way we get to give away a print and sort of preview the next art team on the project.
Now, just to clarify, is this a collective work of past books, or is this a new story?
No, this is all original, brand new story. It's completely penciled, inked, and colored. All it needs to be done is lettered, and it's ready to go.
Fantastic.
So the funny thing, I thought I could letter and run a Kickstarter, and there's no way. The Kickstarter pretty much take all your free time.
Now, if you could talk to us about your team for this project.
Okay. Yes. Myself and Bill Nichols is the writers on the book. Mitch Bird came in and penciled this book for me. I've known Mitch many years. I actually did a Kickstarter for him for a sketchbook a few years back. I am Bill inked it, and Arrow Zero came in and colored it. I'd say the mysterious Arrow Zero because now we can't find her. She colored it and disappeared, so we're not too sure what happened to her.
Oh no.
Yuko Smith is doing covers for us. He goes around the convention circuit a lot. He does beautiful work. He'll be doing covers for each chapter that we're working on. Yeah, we'll talk about that reward there for a minute.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that.
That shows you the 90s, okay? That's us saying we realized our history here. We did a POG deal with Walmart back in the 90s. And unfortunately, the printer who printed it was involved in the deal. And it was another one of those, which this is cool, this is great. We ended up with a lot of POGs, and there was nothing else in the deal. So at some point, we had put together full sets of these. And then cleaning out the warehouse a few months ago, we found like 50 sets of these.
What?
So we're like, let's use them for rewards. And then back in the day, we did a Blood and Roses trading card set. And we had, foil cards as the chase cards. And we found about 50 of those uncut ones. So just for kicks, we threw it out there, and I don't know if nobody has picked up the ball.
I'm going to do that.
I'm going to do it
because I've been saying to people, bring back the Pogs.
Bring back the Pogs, yes.
Bring back the Pogs. I collected them like cards. I didn't really play with them. I collected them like cards. That's what I did. I collected the Slammers, and I collected the Pogs. And, it was always like, well, the top of the thing was you wanted the Poison. Poison was like a big deal. But I had my Marvel Pogs. I had some, I don't know if I had DC Pogs. But I mean, I liked Pogs. And I don't know where my Pogs are. I don't recall throwing them away. My parents probably threw them out.
With the comics.
No, they didn't take them. Actually, my parents were good about that stuff. They were very supportive. Very supportive about that.
The Pogs,
I don't know where the Pogs went. Or maybe they're sitting up in their attic somewhere. Who knows?
Secret stash.
I know, because I had the whole tournament board, right?
Oh, man.
With the little fuzzy Pog character.
He was serious.
I was serious. And that box held my Pog. I had a Pog maker, Robert. I had a Pog maker.
You actually punched them out?
I punched out my own Pogs. I took my own images.
Yeah, they would make your own Pogs, did you?
What's that?
Did you use comics to make them?
No, you don't actually use magazines. I'd get duplicate Wizard magazines and stuff because I didn't want to ruin anything I own. So I had to then spend more money or trade with other kids to get things.
Right.
But yeah, that's cool. And
I
will be there the first one on that.
Yeah,
all right.
He will be.
Yeah. So let's get back to the team after my 90s tirade.
And then we have some variant covers that Renee Delise, she went and did a Wonder Woman series for DC Comics. Mm-hmm. She also did an issue of Force and Darkness Chronicles. She did a whole issue of that Force before that. Andy Kuhn, who's getting ready to do the Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series. Yeah. Andy's a good friend of mine. He did us a cover. He's doing a cover for the next chapter. Joe Coroni is a good friend of mine. He does a lot of Lucasfilms artwork, Star Wars artwork, and everything. I've known Joe for a long, long time. He came in and did a cover for us. And then Brad Gorby did the last variant cover. Brad, we used because he did the first Blood and Roses series. So with his cover, we actually did a Valiant wash to his cover, because that's sort of the way we did that back when Valiant was doing watercolors for colors. We did that with his cover because that's how we colored our first issue of Blood and Roses. So to us, it was sort of a throwback for us.
Okay.
But yeah,
I have some tempered books. Sorry to cut you off. I think I have a couple tempered comics.
Yeah, a couple tempered. Storm Quest was a book that Caliber published out for. I created it. They published it out, and it was actually, it's the highlight was it was packaged with Image Comics and distributed through Walmart's. So it was actually one of the top selling Caliber comics, but they didn't really like superheroes.
Yeah, I had Storm Quest too. This is all coming back to me.
Yeah. Greg Land started out with us. Greg's been at DC. His first, some of his very, very early work was the first couple issues of Storm Quest.
Because that was like, that was the team, right?
Yeah.
That was your take on like the superhero team. Yeah.
And all these characters will end up appearing throughout different chapters in the Paradox Wars.
That's awesome, man. I love that. I love bringing back these books. This is going to be cool. When are you looking to? Are you good for a November 2020 fulfillment time? Yeah,
it's not a problem. As soon as we wrap up this Kickstarter, I will be on getting the lettering wrapped up, and I'm hoping to ship early. I mean, right now they're prepping any books that we don't have available. As far as filling the 22, they're doing print on demands on those now. Yeah. So it's not going to be a problem at all filling it.
Plus, since you have your own printing machine,
it helps. Yes.
That decreases the cost that
time
isn't there for other people.
Yes. Yes, it does. It helps us to make sure no matter what, we're going to fulfill the Kickstarter. And on a timely basis. We know getting it out on time is the most important thing. We got to build up trust. We know we got to do this one reader at a time. Doesn't matter. We've been around 30 years. We're building it one reader at a time,
Yeah.
So
fantastic.
And it's like you're restarting because you are in this digital realm now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, this is the time. This is the time to do it.
It really is. I mean, I own comic book stores in the past, and I've dealt with Diamond and multi-distributors. And really, I don't care if I shouldn't say this, I might bite it, but I don't care if I offer this through Diamond ever. This is about us and the readers. If we can build up enough readers, we'll do enough shows next year when we start having shows again. Hopefully, hope we do, and we'll just gradually build this back up. One reader at a time. I can handle that.
So how long has it been since you're picking these characters back up, you're starting this campaign, but what was the time frame in between the last time you actually had a published work within this universe to now?
We published a couple of short stories for like some free comic book days, probably 4 or 5 years ago. And then probably 8 to 9 years before that. But we're always working on them. We're always developing. Let me just do something real quick, if you guys don't mind.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Please.
If you look at Kickstarter, we've been giving away original pieces of artwork.
Oh, wow.
This is a 4x6 postcard. This is the original watercolor. This is the first time I've shown this piece. We're going to randomly drop this into a print reward. You'll notice the name of the book was originally called Blood and Roses, Cowboys, and Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So this was done a few years ago. A good friend of mine, Kevin Lean, did about a half a dozen of these for us to do this, to give them away as incentive. So there we go. We're going to show it here for the first time. And this will be randomly dropped into a reward when we start packaging them up.
That's awesome.
That's like the third one now we've shown and we want to give away. But yeah, so it was originally packaged as Blood and Roses, Cowboys and Dinosaurs. It was this story came around with a half an hour conversation with Mitch Bird. we got talking about some old show we watched as kids where there was cowboys and dinosaurs, and he knew exactly it was some Mexican show that they dubbed over or something like that. And I had the coloring book, and I wouldn't color in it because it was just so cool, and it had those little one-liner stories in it that I kept it forever, you know. And we got talking about them. We got talking about the girls and the story, and next thing I know, in about 2 weeks, pages just started rolling in. I'm going, this is cool. Okay. And so there was never a full plot on this story. It was just conversations, and Mitch just turned in pages. So we had a lot of fun with it.
That's
cool. Now the whole
That's
thing evolved into, we're hoping to do 12 chapters. This is what our goal is. Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. And I mean, you've done other Kickstarters before.
I did a collection for Storm
First
Quest.
one for yours.
Well, I did a collection for Storm Quest back 8-9 years ago, I guess, early on with Kickstarter, started getting the feel of it. And then we did a Mitch Bird sketchbook collection 4 or 5 years ago. And then we tried a novel, but I pulled it because it just wasn't getting any tractions. Novels is a different sell than comics, and I don't feel like I was reaching the right audience. But that's still something I'm working on. We're actually going to write. I'm going to write a series of novels and just put them out on Amazon or something like that. You know, to me, Kickstarter is not the place for those. I know probably some people have a following to bring to it, will do well. But for us, we understand comics. I'm going to say we know comics. We understand comics.
Yeah.
And so that's where we want to spend our time right now.
So what has been the challenge with this campaign, maybe compared to other campaigns that you've had?
Probably the biggest challenge is the time frame that we haven't been around. I said earlier, we own a video game store. Actually, I own the largest retro video game store in our area. We have like 30,000 games on the floor. We've spent the past 5 years building this store up from the ground up. It was sort of, I fell into it, but like everything, I jumped totally into it. You know, we still work 6 days a week in this shop. And I've got 5 employees working it now and everything. But that time took away from this creatively. And it took away from shows. Because Blue Line's not really viable to take the shows anymore, it was like, why are we doing shows? So being away has been the biggest problem, I think. No FaceTime with people. What I'm looking for the most is getting back out in Artist Alley, talking to people.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like I really thought, like I said, I thought I could do lettering and run a Kickstarter, and there's no way. You know, Kickstarter takes all your time. If you ever do a Kickstarter, plan on those 30 days. Live it, love it. It's part of the process.
All right. Yeah.
Have you ever considered Indiegogo?
You know, I've bought a few things. And I somehow I missed Billy's Kickstarter, so I jumped on his last one on Indiegogo. It looks like it's a different mechanism. So it will be what I research after this. Because we have another project called Hell Girl that is sort of a character that's going to appear in chapter 2. But we have a complete book of her, and it also just needs to be lettered, that we're going to do after we complete this Kickstarter and ship it. And that will give us time to get chapter 2 of this story done, but keep us visible in everybody's eyes. Our next book is going to be Hell Girl. It's a one-shot. It's complete. There again, even though we've been gone, we've been doing work.
Yeah.
We've been writing, drawing, inking, completing projects, taking projects that's made have started in the past, brought them back in, completed them, got them colored. So this project is sitting there, and this character that Hell Girl focuses on is going to appear in chapter 2 of Paradox Wars. So this is a good way to intro her. Her origin story is part of the 22 bundle that we're offering. So you get her origin story either in the digital pack or in the print bundle. So you'll get introduced to her. But it also helps keep us in the eye of everyone. And that's the whole thing with Kickstarter is how often can you keep in the eye? I mean, the master, that's Brian Polito's Get Real.
Yeah.
He's got it down. He's got the whole, if you want to learn Kickstarter, follow Brian.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the whole system down.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he really does.
The kingpin of Kickstarter.
But I will say, don't start your first campaign like him.
No.
A lot of stuff starts small.
Yes.
But follow his direction of what he does.
Look at his template.
Yep.
You know, look at his template. But you're right. Do what you can produce. And if you can only produce a comic and maybe a trading card, then I, as somebody who does sketch magazine and teaches, only do that. Do where your strengths are.
Yep.
It will grow. You will learn. Reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Stop over at Fyre. We're going to start sharing clips and stuff of this once it's completed. That's another thing I thought, I'll do videos. And as we're on Kickstarter, I'll start posting videos. Oh, no, there's not time to post videos right now.
No.
Just get this thing rolling. And then we'll post the videos afterwards on, some type of a Kickstarter 101 or something, and what we did and what worked. And there's things that we did that didn't work, and you learn from both.
Yeah, I mean, so you're currently at, you've made your goal. You have 46 backers. You have 11 days to go. Very cool. I'm definitely backing my POG level. I think it's very unique. It's cool bringing that back.
Thank you.
Something if you watch other episodes, I bring up POGs several times. I brought them up.
Yep.
And it's cool to see someone doing it. I like capturing that nostalgia because a lot of consumers, us kids that, were born in the early mid 80s and, grew up in the 90s and stuff, we've got a very strong grip on nostalgia. We want those things we loved.
Right.
And, some of us want them the way they were. Some like to change them. But either way, it's good to see someone bring something back that was kind of unique. And I appreciate you guys doing that with your campaign.
I appreciate it too. We just want to have fun. That's what the whole thing is about. We enjoy this. It's not a real job. We're just having fun. We're sharing our stories. And we're having a blast with it.
Yeah. And before we go, Robert, please, for the viewers out there, why should they back this book?
Well, if you enjoy a sci-fi story, I'd say it's probably a little bit of adventure, time travel, dinosaurs. And this first chapter and the second chapter has got dinosaurs and steam. And it's Mitch Bird. Come on.
Yeah.
He draws beautiful women.
Beautiful women. Yeah.
Beautiful women. So, try it. I mean, we put the sample pages out there. And just jump on board. Give us a shot. Give us one shot.
Fantastic. And how can everyone stay in touch with you and where can they follow what you guys are doing?
Well, we're launching a website. It's paradoxwars.com. It's still being developed and everything. I'll throw my email out there. Everybody has it in the world because it's bobh@bluelinepro.com. If you ever bought Blue Line, you probably have my email. So if you want to ask me questions, bobh@bluelinepro.com. Same email I've had for 30 years. So you can reach me there if you got questions about it. Biggest thing is drop us a message on the Kickstarter because I check it constantly. Those pop up on my phone and I answer them as quick as I can.
Fantastic.
Communication's a big thing with this.
Oh, definitely. As you know, I mean, you're your own PR, your marketing, you're everything when you're crowdfunding. And but that's the special part, right? Because as you build that brand back up, you build those IPs up, those characters, you're not going through a distributor right now. You are the distributor. You are going direct to your fans, and your fans have that direct access to you, which is incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
And that way we don't have anybody telling us what to do either.
Exactly.
You want to say, the distributor is going to say, well, that won't sell, but if you guys tweak this, maybe this will. Mm-hmm. No. The fans is our boss. Let's get real.
Yep.
We put this first one out and they're going to say, hey, I prefer to see something like that. Well, hey, we'll take it in consideration. Mm-hmm. If it fits within the story we want to tell, heck yeah, we will.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great. Well, Rob, we appreciate you coming on the show. It's been a blast. I've got a million more questions for you, so I think you're going to probably have to make time to come back on the show, maybe do a live show with us. And thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at @ThePopXP and over on Instagram @ThePopXP. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you soon.